Hi guys. New games. This is not the game I'm going to talk about, but I did get Status Pro compatible hockey when I got the basketball. So this is another game that's going to be coming to my channel. Didn't get the NHL. I got the AHL and the Swiss League teams. So, but more of that in the future. This is the game that I want to speak to you about. 49 Football. Website www.49football.com. It's if you look at the thumbnail, you'll see the full URL. It's a single string of letters: FORTYNINE football.com, and this is from a guy called Grant Fines. He's developed it, and there's several things I like about this game, or at least I'm going to hopefully like about this game. It isn't American football, it isn't Canadian football, it's both. You can play both Canadian and American football. And when you buy this, you get the American football and the Canadian football team sheets. They're in sheets, they're not individual cards, which I think is a good thing. But it looks quite complicated, and we're going to find out once. I'm waiting for some 12-sided dice to be delivered. So this is what you get. You get the rule book, obviously, and there's an awful lot of looking at numbers and working out on this, but I'm sure that once you get used to it, then it becomes second nature, like any other game. So this is the NFL field, and as you can see here, let me just get a pencil. 49 Football South. You've got the quarters, you've got the down, you've got the score. Goal goes up to 30, but hey, what? You've got the visitors, timeouts and challenges, home timeouts and challenges, and the clock, and then the board. Now, what you may notice, it's a bit difficult to see, but this game, and it's another one of the things that I like about it, this game is done in half yards. So you can get a gain of 1.5 yards, which means if you're at 3rd and 2 and you get 1.5 yards, you've still got half a yard to go for the gain. So you're at 4th and 1, where it's only half a yard, and therefore you have to decide whether you're going to go for it, and it makes it a little bit more interesting as to whether you go for it or not, because in some situations, half a yard, you may think, I'm going to go for it and try and get the other half yard, and in others you may think, well, if I don't get it, I'm going to be in a bad situation, and therefore I'm going to punch it away. You also get, oh, there's the same field, printed it out twice. You also get the North Field. Same thing. Score goes up to 40 in this case because they tend to be high scoring. Only 2 timeouts, 2 challenges, and the clock here. And you'll notice that 3 minutes here is shaded rather than 2 minutes on the NFL, and that's because at 3 minutes in Canadian, the clock stops after each play. Again, it's a 55-yard halfway line, so it's slightly longer field, and obviously if you know the game, you only get 3 downs. 1, 2, 3, and not 4. What also comes now, being in the UK, it costs an absolute fortune to get anything sent over here. So I talked to Grant, sent him an email, said that I'd really love to get this game, but it's just out of my price range because of the customs that you have to pay when you get to the UK. And he sold me this on PDF, but he only does it for people who are not in the UK, US, Canada, which I think is fair enough. But regardless of that, you also get team sheets, And the good thing about the team sheets is that this is Green Bay. The players are already on the team sheet. I'll show you the player sheet shortly, but they're already on the score sheet. So you're not filling it in with all the players that you may use. It already is there. And I'm doing my first game will be Green Bay against Chicago, just as a taster to get used to the game. And so I printed the Chicago sheet on the score sheet on the other side. So I keep all the stats and all the scores on this, and that's the game sheet. And each team I've got one, both NFL and CFL teams. So this is the Green Bay Packers team sheet. Running plays, passing plays, all these numbers are what you'll use to decide on the result of the play. And this is all to do with how the teams play. They've got an offense which is pass most conservative, and they come in use at a later date with other sheets that I'm going to show you. You've got all the fumble and all the adjustments here. These numbers here in OT, off tackle, stretch and outside run, they're used to determine who takes the run if you're playing solitaire. Now this has 3 solitaire versions as well, so you can play offense for both teams and use the roles for the defense. You can play defense for both teams and use it for the offense. In fact, there's actually 4. You can then just play your favorite team. So I play Green Bay on offense, Green Bay on defense, and random rolls for Chicago in this case, or the one that I am going to play, which is the dice will decide what the plays are. But that's up to you. You do what you wish. So they're the random numbers there, and here you have them as well. So if it's going to be a medium pass, Devontae Adams 1 to 6, Valdes-Scantling 7 to 8. If it's a long pass, Devontae Adams 1 to 7, Scantling 8 to 9, yada 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 yada, and that's the way they do that. The defense, I've not actually worked out where they are, but they'll be somewhere on here, and I'll get into that more once I get the dice and I start learning the game. So you get 1 per team. Then you get 2 sets of cards. You get the game action cards and you get the result action cards. Now the game action cards tell you things like if there's a press, if there's a penalty, what influences are on the play. So here, as you can see, press hold 12. I've got to learn what that means. Penalty, team max, and that, I think I remember that from the video. It all depends on who has the most penalties. So you look on their team sheets, and it'll tell you somewhere on here. And you look at the 2 teams, and whoever is the max is the one that's got the penalty. The penalties on a run, pass, punt, and kickoff. And as you can see on this one, it's split with a /n. So the left-hand side is NFL, the right-hand side is Canadian, because you get more penalties in Canadian than you do in NFL, and they're all different as well. So on a punt, you've got an illegal block, 10 yards, point of foul, but in Canadian football, it's a no yards penalty, 5 yards on a kick. Further down at the bottom, these are used to work out where the spots are. So kick return 60%. So if you returned it 10 yards, then the foul would have occurred 6 yards during the return. And that's the idea. As I said, it's quite a technical mathematical thing, but once you've got it, you be able to understand it. And once you've decided on the number that you're looking at, so if it was a run, you might say it went on an inside run to Aaron Jones, which is 50, and then the defensive numbers will affect it, and some things off this card will affect it. You then turn an action card over, and let's say it was 50 on a run, and then you're looking here, and they're all broken down into 0 to 9, so 50 to 59, let's say, would be a 5-yard gain. Or if it was a pass, a 50 to 59 on this card would be a completion. Well, actually, yes, it would be a completion with a C. If you don't want to use dice, then they've got random dice numbers here for to be used, but I prefer to have a set of dice. And punt rolls, pop-up punts, I think it's called that. But as I say, that will come with trying it. So you get those. You need both sets, but you can also have weather effects. So if you had, let's say, snow. So we've got snow and wind. Snow with moderate wind. Here we go. So you get 2 cards, and this is something that you don't see in many games, because other games haven't worked out, and kudos here to Grant to actually think about this. But when you're playing, you swap around. So some of the time you're playing with the wind, and some of the time you're playing against the wind. And so you got 2 modifier cards here, against the wind, with the wind. So when you turn around, the cards turn around, because you're not playing the same wind every single play of the game. So nice touch, I think. But you can have weather effects if you wish. They're there. And then you get this set. I've not worked out, there's some blue and some white. I'm assuming some it could be home and away. I've not worked it out yet. It could be if there is a with and against. But these are the things that you'll use to determine the plays. So we've got a balanced aggressive. So here the offense is most conservative for Green Bay, apparently, on pass. So you'd like pass most conservative. Be one somewhere. Should have got these out before I started. Pass most conservative. So if it's 1st and 10 or all 12, then it's going to be an intermediate pass. And then obviously we would look in this column and roll a number, and if it was number 17, then it would be an intermediate pass to Aaron Jones. And what you do on a passing play, you have to make sure that the pass is completed. And again, when I do a video, or if you go and watch any of the videos that are about on this, and they're all really from Grant, you work out if the pass is complete, and if the pass is complete, then you start using these numbers, and from there you determine using the result action card as to what the result of the play is. You get some timing charts, one for the north and one for the south. So 15 seconds on a kickoff to start the half, penalties that are accepted. That's the north. Incomplete, short pass, run less than 7 yards, followed by an out of bounds, or a timeout is 5 seconds in the south. So all these, you get different timings. It's the same game. These are the cards that you're going to use for Canadian football and American football. But you can play either using those cards. So it's not 2 games, it's 1 game. And you get a lot of other additional charts, quick play charts, offensive influence charts. And then I've not worked out what these are. I'm not putting them down into little small boxes unless I have to. And you get those as well. The other thing that you get, that's the one I want. This chart is specific to Green Bay playing Chicago at Chicago. This chart is the quick play chart for this game, and there is a spreadsheet out there, and I'm sure that if you're in the US and you buy this game, and I don't know whether they'll email it to you automatically or what, but if not, it's out on the internet, or you could just email him and ask him. And effectively, it's a spreadsheet with all the numbers for each team, and there is a video on how to do this, and you just cut and paste the specifics into the home or the away team, and it creates you one of these charts. You print it off, and that's the chart for your game. So each game specifically, if you want to use the quick play rules, which I will be doing, just move that down because they're a bit high up, aren't they? So this becomes an important chart in the game. As I said, I've not played it yet because I'm waiting for my D12s to come, and I expected them to be here today, but they're not. So I won't be playing them today. But rest assured, it will be coming to my channel, and so I'm going to have the March Madness, the Swiss Hockey League, and NFL, CFL. I've already got a CFL running on Cold Snap, but maybe I'll alternate and do Cold Snap and this as a CFL replay as well, and finish that off that way. Apparently once you get used to this, it'll take you about an hour to play a game, which I think in everybody's eyes is not a bad time for an American football game. But it cost me about $26. Now it'll cost you more if you're in the States, because you will print these out. And to be fair, the only criticism I have of this, and it could well be my printer, and it's not something that's happened with my printer before. As you can see on this, well, maybe you can't see it, but these look like they're images that have been entered into the PDF, and they don't print out very well. And so when I look at the fields, they're a bit, there's 2 lines for each line, so it looks a bit bad. But I think it's my printer. I'm certainly seeing them on the videos that Grant has done, and they look very good quality on the ones that he prints. So as I said, I think it's something wrong with my printer, and I need to sort of work that out. But yeah, there you go. I may also do an AHL team knockout, so one and done with the AHL teams on the hockey. But I really want to keep going with my March Madness and get that down and finished as well. But I might mix it up. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll put the website link in the comments below. It's www.49football.com, all one string, FORTYNINE football.com, and the website there I'll tell you the cost of it. And if you look for 49 football, that'll on YouTube, and you can do that by either typing 49 football or 49F board game or something like that. You'll find a few quick videos on how certain players are played. Pardon me, I'm sorry, I had a bit of a cough there. But yeah, this is one of the 2 new games that I've still got to come. The hockey, as I said, I got with the basketball, so it's not a new game. It's just that I've not printed it off and I've not played any games. But that looks quite an interesting game. But this is the one currently that we're going through, the March Madness, and that is the current state of the East, with the second round games: Duke against VCU, Liberty against St. Louis. Liberty beat Mississippi State, 5th-ranked state, and St. Louis beat 4th-ranked Virginia Tech. Maryland are going to play Yale, and Yale beat 3rd-ranked LSU in overtime. And Louisville, that we played earlier today, waiting for Michigan State or Bradley. I suspect Michigan State are going to win that one. But I also suspected that Mississippi State would beat Liberty, and they didn't. So anyway, I hope you've found that a little bit interesting. And as I say, go and watch some of the videos, and hopefully once I've got my 12-sided dice, I'm going to play this game, and then I've got to decide what to do, because I don't really want to just play a Green Bay replay, because it means that I don't get to play the other team. So what I may do is just play a one and done in this as well. But time will tell. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Thumbs up or thumbs down, yada yada yada. Leave a comment, send money or food parcels. Hope everybody out there is staying safe and following the rules. We have 1 or 2 idiots around here who think that they're immune to what's going on in the world, and hopefully they don't find out that they're not, and hopefully they don't infect anybody else that is trying to do their best to get through this. Anyway guys, I'll just pull that down a bit more so you can see it all. That effectively is the full package. As I say, it looks like a really interesting game, and once I've played 2 or 3 games, I think we'll probably have it down pat, and we'll be able to knock out a game within an hour. So leave your comments, let me know what you think, and it may well be worth purchasing this game once you've seen a couple of games, just so you can see how it plays. Certainly it looks an interesting game to me, and hopefully it will be an interesting game and you'll enjoy it as well. So until we talk again, have a good day and stay safe.